Hi there, I'm just trying out Lenovo's A3 headset with the G100,
100.
G100 Motorola phone, which is effectively, instead of having a puck, you have this phone which can do everything you want, but it's got a screen on it so you can actually know what you're doing. So I'm holding this, I mean obviously with these, when you've got the processing powers done by the phone, so there's very little weight in the headset, and this is really quite light. So I mean it's a bit heavier than a pair of Ray-Bans, maybe twice the weight, but not much more than that. Wearing it, as you can see, I don't look too much like a Diddy. So now what I'm looking at, and we're gonna actually go through the lens of this, which probably won't do justice, but I'm currently looking at Ducati motorcycle, and if I expand, I'm gonna look on expanding the view, and I'll show you this as well. It basically explodes the view of the Ducati right down to the wheel nuts. Absolutely everything in the engine and the carapace and everything has been fully exploded, and I can now walk around it. It's kind of looking a bit weird because I'm looking at stuff that you can't see, but this is literally the size of the motorcycle as I'm walking around the expanded view. And I'm getting right up close to it. Now the field of view, what is the field of view, James, in this one?
It's 45 degrees.
There we go, 45 degrees, which it's funny because we call it the letterbox effect. Normally when you look through these things, you're looking through a little letterbox where you can see the view. I'm not even noticing it. My entire attention is focused on this central point. So I'm not really noticing where it's cutting off, which is quite impressive. It's a bit like when you're watching a very small television or even a really big cinema screen, your eyes just adjust after a while and your brain adjusts, so it's the same effect. So also what I'm seeing here is if I look at certain points, again, I'll show you, it comes up with data sheets. Now, I need glasses to read normally, but I'm looking at this, and I can read it fine. Even from a distance, it's not a problem. I think it's because it's actually giving me brightness to my eyes, and even with bad eyesight, if you turn up the brightness on your phone, you can see better, yeah? So I think that's what's happening here. Final thing, opacity. Now, opacity is the level to which an object looks solid rather than transparent. This uses a system called waveform, which basically projects onto the back of the lens with these special lenses inside here and then reflects it back onto your eyes. Usually that creates a kind of a semi-opaque problem, particularly in a bright environment like this. I'm not getting that. Honestly, this thing looks solid to me. If I look really, really closely, I can kind of see stuff through it. And again, you're going to see this in a second, but really, this is colour me impressed. This is me being impressed, right? And this is all being powered off a phone. I mean, this device works off a laptop. You can use it for virtual desktops where you can have all your screens all around you, but this can be used for engineering functions. It can be used for going out and about and looking at, for instance, a real mechanical installation and being told by somebody remotely, okay, I need you to turn this handle. Here's a little arrow saying how far you turn it. There's so many applications in industry for this kind of thing, and there's actually software ready to go for that. So, okay, so now we're going to try showing you what I'm seeing. So as you can see, here's the exploded view of the Ducati. It's kind of hard to do this justice, but you see how as I focus on different things, they highlight. And then you see the data sheets, and then you get close and you can read them. And if I step backwards, in terms of the opacity, you really can't see through it that much. Now look around. Bright light everywhere we go. This is a bright room, and it's working great. So on the whole, I am very impressed by this, and what we'll do is we'll send you some video. I'll share some video of this actually being viewed properly, rather than some half-assed idiot doing it through his iPhone. But you know, it gives you a wee idea of what we're seeing here. So yeah, pretty impressive, and we'll put some more information in the comments below for you. Just a quick note. So noting, very, very low opacity. I'm not probably doing this justice because it's a phone camera, but this is a very bright room. This device, I would say, weighs a few grams. I haven't got the exact numbers on this. And look at this. The latency, there's the tear, it's just very stable. So let's have a look at the device. Form factor's really nice. It's got a bit of depth to it, but it's nothing like the Nrio. And then sitting on built-in speakers. Yep. Oh, actually, how do the speakers work?
They're downward firing into the ears, so you can't really hear it if you're sat next to someone.
Really?
You hear it very loudly.
Fantastic. And this is me wearing it, so it doesn't look too ridiculous. I would wear this in the train. And this is the P14S. running it.
It's the AMD version, so there's no GPU in there. That's all running off the APU.
So that is, you know, considering how well that's running off this, and this is a very small, lightweight laptop. So, yep, very, very cool. Okay.